Welcome to Leo for Leos. This is a channel featuring intuitive tarot readings for the astrological sign of Leos, Sun, Moon, and Rising. I'm a Leo as well, so that is why the channel is called Leo for Leos. Cross watchers and fellow readers are welcome. However, I do want to give you a heads up that I read the cards as I see them and not always the way it's traditionally done. So let's get started. I'm going to be using the Smith-Waite Tarot deck, the Centennial Edition. And this reading will be from March 23rd to the 29th. Let's get this going. This is from March 23rd to the 29th. And technically the fourth week in March. We got something. Let's see. Okay. That is interesting. It's kind of nice to get a card like this as your first card. Okay, let's keep going. Thinking about my Leos out there. I hope you guys are doing well, hanging in there. Been praying for you guys. So, hoping that this last week in March will bring us some sunshine and some clarity and some hope and love. Understanding, prosperity. What's happening for Leos this week? Okay. Okay, I'm gonna pick in 1, 5, 4. Whoa! No need to pick. Wow, just the amount of cards we needed too. Sweet. Okay. All right, so what am I picking up from the cards so far? We had this exact same issue last week where there was a rushing in. There was a rushing in, and it was the last card as well. Okay, well, I generally love this spread for us because look at all the yellow here. That really is speaking to me about how brightly Leo is looking at their lives at that point. There's a lot of hope and even some celebration, but within the celebration, there's still hard work and discipline at play. You are not, you're working harder than ever on your goals. And there may even be a tendency to want to rush in. And it makes sense because for a long time, Leos have been really feeling like they're tired of the wait. They're ready. They're ready to make things happen. And there isn't any caution that I can see yet, but we'll see. We'll dig deeper into it right now and see if there's some thing that can help us. Ooh. Okay, this is talking about the past. A general feeling of just being, things didn't go so well in the past. There were decisions that were made that by your part and other people's parts that you had to pay for. So, and whether or not, it wasn't deserved. It was definitely exactly like a betrayal. You feel betrayed by some things that have happened in the past, and maybe even people, unresolved issues with the past, pretty much. It's interesting that we have that card full of yellow, and then we've got this dark card with so much black in the sky. But if you notice, in the middle here, there's a little bit of yellow. Okay, so it's telling me that it's not. It's a feeling more than an actual thing that is going to happen. Like someone doing something inappropriately to you. Hey, that happens all the time to all kinds of people, but I feel like this is definitely talking about the past and that there is a possible future of hope. Okay. So intuition is a big party. In the last few readings that I've done for Leos, intuition has come up every single time. And some of the intuition has come up as a secret, and sometimes it's come up as like an actual, like depending on your feelings, to make actions or to make decisions. And we're having that here. It's saying there's a lot of gut feeling, and sometimes, with gut intuition, sometimes you get two different voices. You get one voice that says, be afraid of everything, watch everything, double check everything, make sure that people aren't like trying to deceive you, which is a good voice. And there's another voice that's like, hey, let's just go with the flow and let's not really dig into it very much further. Let's just, have fun with this and not care about what's going to happen. And, or let's not get too wrapped up into the details. And just by even showing up here, I'm saying dig into the details. We have a couple of signs. I mean, I think there should be a sense of light airiness to your decision making, as far as like, does it make you feel happy? Is it for you? Is it really going to be the best deal that you can make? So because some people here are going to be dealing with, they're like making decisions that are going to be a little bit of an ironclad. So whatever decisions that you're making for your life, really, you know, these kinds of readings aren't going to tell you which way to go, because that's something that you have to make the decision for. And I urge that everyone, no matter what reading that you hear from people, always use your gut intuition to determine whether or not it's advice you really want to follow. I know it's kind of weird to say that, but it's true. I'm only out for Leos. I'm not really, out for anything else. I think that making your own decisions is very empowering. It tells your subconscious that, hey, I'm in control and I'm in charge. This way you're not dependent on other people to make decisions for you. And, as far as having imposter syndrome or confidence issues, that kind of stuff melts away the more you make decisions about your life for yourself on your own. Now, the other caveat to it all is that when you're making decisions for yourself, there's that empowerment, but there's also like the acceptance of the consequences. Like whatever the consequences are, good or bad, those are your consequences. And I think we all feel a lot better when we make the mistake of when we make mistakes in life versus when we give our power to someone else so they can like make the mistakes for us. It really feels like a devastation. So maybe that is also part of like the lessons of the past, teaching Leos that, hey, now is the time you have to make decisions on your own, good or bad, and you have to use your internal gifts, your internal voice, your inner angels, your guides. Ask God, do whatever it takes to study, like understand what contracts you're getting into, understand what you're signing up for, understand what your decisions are going to mean for you in the future, good or bad, okay? Or good and bad, because not every deal or decision that you make is going to be about hanging out with the roses and playing in the fields. Sometimes it does mean that you're signing up for hard work, labor, harder times, but maybe it's not going to last for very long. You're making this decision for you and your future. So I think I've talked enough about that, and I'm gonna move on. We're gonna move on to the Fool, who is very much excited about life, excited about stepping into something new. There's not any certainty of what is going to happen. There's a choice to be happy. There is a bit of loyalty to whatever you're doing it full out. You're not half-stepping it. And let's dig deeper into this, because I find it to be fascinating. Leos are making choices, right? We talked about the waiting, and you've waited for a long time. Okay? The feeling of like waiting, but I think you know, I spoke about a portal, and this is a portal time. There's a couple portals that are opening up, and this particular portal time is definitely about laying down new seeds for new ideas. You don't have to make any big decisions on these new ideas, but it's just planting the seeds for something that will be will grow later, something that will grow later. It's going to take a lot of tending to, and this is the tending part. This is the tending part. You're going after the unattainable, the dream. You're going after the dream. You're going after the dream. The dream is the cup that's coming from the divine. It's you're waiting for that cup too. You're waiting for the cup. I always speak about how just ruining this the setup here. Just ruining everything. How I often talk about how these two cards are so related, because there is a waiting. It's about waiting. It's about not quite being at the place where you want to be yet, having assets but not having everything that you want. And sometimes this card's about dissatisfaction, but in this case, you know that this isn't about dissatisfaction. This is about waiting. This is about waiting. You know that it's coming. Here's this partnership card again. It's been showing up lately a lot. I mean, Leos want a partner on this. If you are doing all of you know, if you're doing everything by yourself, you are so much dreaming of a partner. That's part of that cup in the sky, is that you want a partner to help you with this stuff. However, if there is someone in your life that is a partner, or there is someone who wants to be a partner, this could be a really great time to make that connection, make that, reach out to that person. There could be someone that maybe you haven't been collaborating with, and now is the time to kind of put the seeds in the soil and sort of set up that chance for collaboration. Let's see, you're going to be doing a lot of social things this week. A lot more social. It could be on a very small scale, like talking to someone for 10 minutes or reaching out to someone on social media. Either which way, there could be a possibility to talk to someone who you can partner up with maybe later, but you're dropping the seeds in now, the seeds of thought, hey, this could be a possibility. Maybe we could collaborate in the future. This is really talking about this master decision that's happening. And it's a good decision. It's not, let me rephrase that. It's a powerful decision. This decision reaches far and wide. It reaches far and wide. It's something that is going to really make changes for the long haul. Let's move on to the Emperor. The Emperor is really is discipline. I feel like he's still disciplined in this this reading. He's the one anchor. Maybe you have a lot of stuff going on in your head, but discipline is the one anchor to the real world. It's the one anchor that will keep you grounded as we move forward. And the discipline is helping you to move. And I just said move forward, and literally move forward to something better. Definitely something better. Definitely something better. And there's an interesting thing that's happening here. You're hesitating a little bit on going any further. Trying to see how I feel about that. Let me pull another card and see. Oh yeah, there are more decisions to be made. This big master decision is leading to more decisions that you'll have to make. And there's a sense of like you may have to, like there's a demand on making these other decisions, and you're not ready to make those decisions. You want to pause on making those decisions because you don't know the outcome. It could be, it feels like it could be scary and dangerous to keep going. It's not always easy to make decisions. Sounds like they're really hard, but this week it will be really testing you to see what decisions you feel comfortable making and which ones you're not comfortable with making. And this is a great card for you because you're going to have to assess the situation. Okay? Assess, assess, assess. Keep looking around to see what's working and what isn't, and what's right about any deals or any contracts that you might be getting into, including friendships. People always think that contracts are talking about work, but contracts could be talking about relationships, about the way you, the dynamics that you have between yourself and another person. That is a contract. Ultimately, you seek the emotional happiness, and this is leading down that path, like just trying to figure out a little bit more how to sculpt your life into the kind of life you really want forever and ever. And look, when I say forever and ever, it's not that you won't change or things won't change, but this is really speaking about trying to make as many things work for you as possible for the long term, for the next 10, 20 years. And there's a sense of hope, and there's a sense of happiness. And look, even though there may be some ups and downs in March, and ups and downs are coming in April, the last week in March can feel a lot lighter. Even though there are decisions to be made, they're more like tweaks too. They're more like they're big decisions that last a long. They're small decisions, but they're small decisions that can reach far and wide, right? Like brushing your teeth every day helps you to have nice teeth in 10 years, right? Possibly. But it's like, if you don't do that, if you decide I'm not going to do that, it's a little thing that you need to do every day. It takes like 2 minutes. If you don't do it, you could end up losing all your teeth in 10 years. It's that kind of change. It might, for some people, it might exactly be that change. But something small that you need to like put your foot down and start doing, or else. And there's some other things where you're just like, it's a decision that you're making that is like, should I be friends with this person or not? It seems so trivial now, but it means so much in the future. Okay? Also, with every decision that you make, it's about ultimate happiness. It's about emotional happiness and being fulfilled emotionally. That should come first. That always should come first. Remember, the first card was the Nine of Cups, and the Nine of Cups is all about self and doing things for self. And it's a highly emotional card about self-love and self-satisfaction. And there's nothing wrong with that. I feel like for a long time the world was more like, how could you do that thing for yourself? It's all about you. Ultimately, yes, it is, because you only have your body to live inside of. And the best way to be of service to the world is to first take care of your own temple, your own world first, and then you can share. And look, you don't have to be a millionaire to donate to something, or to be kind, or to be sweet, or to be giving, to give of your time and your energy to someone else. You don't have to have a lot, but you have to care. You have to care for yourself, and you have to be healthy, right? And you have to do the basics to take care of yourself. So at least consider how much that means. Now let's move on. The next one is the Three of Cups, which is interesting that we go from the Ace of Cups to the Three of Cups. There could be a celebration in store, and it could be about the decision that you make, or maybe it's your decision to like maybe let go of certain feelings that you have about it could be about just celebrating your decisions, or it could be part of your decision to celebrate. That it could be your decision to get out there and do something social with some people. It could be something as simple as attending a festival, or even just going to an event that you've been invited to and you weren't planning on going to initially. It could be as simple as going to gathering and going out with your girlfriends or guy friends. It's something where you're going to be a little social. We're not talking about a party it up, but we're talking about something very simple. And it could be even as simple as having lunch with a friend. Ooh, it's healing. I love it. This is a healing action for you. It will nurture your soul to meet up with someone or do something social. For some reason right now, Leos need to reach out to other people. This is beautiful. And you are actually going to be looking very good to everyone around you. Um, you're going to be looking like the King of Swords. Definitely, you're going to be looking like the King of Swords. Like you've got it under control, you're taking care of things. There's a lot of people who admire you and admire what you're doing. Look at that. Good feelings all around. This is also talking about community and feeling like home. So you're going to be talking to people who are like you in many ways. And that you're going to have that moment of feeling like you're at home when you're talking to them. This is a beautiful feeling. We're going to move on to the page of swords. Oh, sorry. We're going to move on to the page of wands. And that is about maybe possibly during that conversation or even after that conversation, admitting to something, talking about things that you plan on doing, maybe announcing something, announcing your decisions, getting some things off your chest. It's going to be very, very very therapeutic for you two to do this on top of it. And it could even be for a couple of you guys actually posting your experiences on the internet. It could be as simple as that. But kind of a way to document your feelings. Queen of Emotions. So you're going to be really showing people the graceful, happy side of yourself, and not so much all of the darkness that you may have experienced in previous times, but really maybe even talking about overcoming that and offering hope and inspiration to people. Ooh, Leos. And look what I got, this interesting one. This is going to bring on a time of reflection for you, meditation, and or something that leads to an epiphany. And you may not share it with everybody right away, but there's something, a great idea or a great epiphany that happens, and it's pretty brilliant. And let's see if you should tell everybody or you should keep that a secret. Okay. So Spirit is saying that you need to work on your ideas. Like, don't just go ready to tell everybody about every little new idea that you come up with or you change or whatever, but actually take the time to work on them first before you go telling everybody about everything. Okay? So I mean, this is the work card. It is the work card. We're working on our ideas. We're working on the things that really, really are important to us. The things that it may be a brand new idea, but it looks like something that you can really work at. That's really something that you can put together really quickly. And it even may be working on something that you've already been working on, but making a tweak, right? Because it looks like you have a lot already. So it just makes me think that this is just like you've already got 20 items of something and just banging out like another 20 to create a set. King of Pentacles. And that is the master of money, pretty much. Mastering your money and mastering the way that you make an income. I love this concentration on work and discipline and taking it into an idea, from the idea phase to waiting to seeding the project, caring for it, and then coming out with all the riches. Leos are on the right path when it comes to that. Let's move on to the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is, again, I was talking about rushing in to make decisions, and then rush in to act on them immediately. Let's see if it's a good idea to rush in. Okay, let's see what the cards say about rushing in. Ooh. And Leos should rush in only if it's done properly. If you're doing things properly. They're done by the book. You're not cutting any corners. That you're not doing any shady deals. That you've checked the contract. There's the only way to rush in, if you're going to rush in to do something, let it be that you're rushing in to do good, that you're doing it properly. Because that's where things get to be messy, is when you rush in and you make mistakes, and you're not doing things right, you're doing it improperly, and you get a disaster on your hands. Okay? Study. Okay? You've got to study and analyze what it is that you're making these changes on. So lots of changes happening this week. So just make sure that you're aware of all of the details behind your actions. Like, the proper tools to wear, the safety goggles that you need to wear, how much money you need to save up, or how much money you need to spend, that kind of thing. So it's about doing your research before you go rushing in, and I think that's gonna do it for. And I think any further we should just go right into the Angel Answers card and the Oracle cards here. Okay, let's see if we can get a good solution for our Leos. You can ask a question, but oh, a year from now. Wow, that's pretty intense. A year from now. So I'm going to take a picture of this right now. All right, there's the picture. I'm going to read what it says in the little booklet that comes with this deck of cards. A year from now. The event you're asking about will occur within this year or soon after. During this time interval, you're encouraged to stay optimistic and to continue with self-care activities and other preparations for your desire. Remember that other people's free will choices are involved. Your angels are presently working behind the scenes on your behalf, even if you can't immediately see the evidence of your answered prayers. I know for many Leos, this is like, it's bittersweet news. It's nice to know that something is, something's going to be happening that's going to turn the tides within the year. But it's been taking a long time, and we're like, we want to get going now. We want to get started now. And the seeds are still germinating, right? You can't mess with the soil. You can't start picking the fruit yet because the seeds are still germinating. It's not time yet. So one of the things that could really help is in the waiting period. We're not just waiting, we're waiting proactively, okay? Waiting proactively, doing all the things we know we're going to need to do in order to prepare for what is to come. Maybe even take care of some house cleaning, some mental house cleaning, maybe taking care of your body and your spirit and your mind. It is definitely about analyzing what you can do during this waiting period that is proactive, that doesn't shift everything out of focus, doesn't stop you from doing the things that you normally do. Even if things are really murky or unsettling now, a lot of things will be resolved, changed, and morphed into something else in the next few months. The plan is like, we need to go through these emotions in order to do the healing that we need to do. We need to talk to people in order to heal. So yes, I'm so excited by the reading. I'm so happy to do it. I hope this has helped some Leos out there. I love you guys. Care about my Leos. And I really wish you guys the best. Thank you so much for watching, supporting, and subscribing to the channel. If you haven't done so, please consider doing so for Leo Intuitive Tarot readings. And be sure to hit the bell icon to be the first to know when my next video gets posted. Many blessings to you, my awesome Leos. And remember, this channel is for you and for you alone.